Her boyfriend had just cheated on her, leaving this young woman wronged and distraught. Now, on her own for the first time in who knows how long, the girl will commit every act of rebellion she can think of. Tattoos, belly button piercings, and more. But soon she takes to the edge of an overpass. Was this young woman about to end it all? Then, as her cheating ex-boyfriend approaches, she jumps, only to reveal that it was like all a prank. And this is how Alicia Silverstone was discovered, dangling from a bungee cord, with her middle fingers waving in the air. This actress would go on to become an iconic pop cultural phenomenon that would totally change all of our vocab, and bring us some pretty dang good movies too, and some not pretty dang good movies. But yeah, I'm a little clueless on what she's doing now, so let's look into it or whatever. So yeah, what the fuck happened to Alicia Silverstone? But to truly understand what the fuck happened to Alicia Silverstone, we must begin at the beginning, and the beginning began when she was born on her birthday, 1976, San Francisco. That's in California? Alicia Silverstone fell in love with the stage at an early age, even turning to modeling as a youth, despite feeling she looked like a duck. What the duck? Even still, she was determined, taking acting classes in 8th grade and landing a Domino's commercial in 1991. The following year, she got her first screen role as one of Kevin's crushes on the Wonder Years. It was a one-off, but enough to make a mark. In 1993, Alicia Silverstone was cast in a modern telling of Lolita in The Crush, where she actually gave a powerful performance, acting circles around her co-stars. Right then and there, Alicia Silverstone was a star, winning both Best Villain and Best Breakthrough Performance at the MTV Movie Awards. She too earned a nomination for Most Desirable Female, something that she found icky since she was being, deemed a sex symbol by perverts because, she was just 16 years old, fellas. Speaking of perverts, enter Aerosmith, who would cast her in 3 consecutive music videos, most notably Crying and Crazy, both of which were smash hits on MTV. Despite her persona, Silverstone knew how to take control early on, emancipating herself at just 15 before filming The Crush. That way she could dedicate more hours to acting and, not have to deal with her parents. She would quit that stupid thing called high school her sophomore year and later launch a production company called First Kiss Productions, which highlights the sort of innocence that grounded her and made her an object of desire. She would next appear as Raquel Welch's daughter in Torch Song, before turning up in the Cool and Crazy episode of the experimental Showtime series Rebel Highway in 1994. The following year brought something called La Nuit Monde, where she would play another symbol of affection. There was a low-level horror flick called Hideaway, and then she played yet another underage seductive girl in a movie called The Babysitter. After Amy Heckerling saw Silverstone in Aerosmith's Cryin' music video, she knew that she absolutely had to cast her as the iconic Cher in Clueless. In the year 1995, that's in the 90s, the peak of civilization, Alicia Silverstone would give a pitch-perfect turn as the voice and fashion icon of a new generation. That's right, this young lady had hit it. She was an overnight sensation that only took years. But yeah, Clueless, it's actually a decent flick. It's funny, it's got heart, wonderful performances from the young cast. Paul Rudd still looks the same. So Silverstone was a superstar. With it came award recognition from everybody, from, the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards to the National Board of Review. But Alicia Silverstone says she never wanted fame. But that's what she got. And with it came a $10 million contract with Columbia TriStar. In 1996, she was in True Crime as an aspiring cop. And then Silverstone was given her first big budget movie, Batman and Robin. She played the girl. And this superhero movie right here, it was just the sort of blockbuster that she was being positioned for. Alicia was now an adult, although this brought her a new set of issues, namely the industry felt comfortable body-shaming her now, with some outlets unbelievably calling her too fat for her outfit. So yeah, after a lot of people called her fat, then they nominated her for a Razzie, Worst Supporting Actress. But, you know, it's Batman and Robin, so she should wear that Razzie as a badge of honor, and she should not listen to people who think that this is fat. Oh my god, it's... what the f***? Maybe they meant fat, like, with a PH. It was the 90s! Around this time, Alicia Silverstone began to activate her activist phase, that I think's still going on. She chose to speak up for and stand up for and fight for animal rights, turning to veganism because it's perfect in every way, and visiting everywhere from Africa to Peru to help elephants and the rainforest. Yeah, she saw how elephants were dying and the rainforest was being chopped down, and Alicia Silverstone was like, ugh, as F! She would even publish a vegan cookbook a decade later and save the world from everything. Then this hero for animals everywhere, Alicia Silverstone, took her animal love a little bit too far in 2012. Well, not that far. But yeah, she filmed herself chewing food and spitting it in her baby boy's mouth like a f***ing bird. So yeah, it was kind of behaviors like this that began to overshadow her film career. She has come to a different kind of notoriety for her online behavior and her parenting tips, which are totally clueless. I'm sorry, it's just too easy to make clueless jokes, so I'm gonna do it. And she may or may not be right. Who am I to say? I am not an expert, I am not a doctor. I mean, she ate that poisonous berry and survived, so she must be doing something right? Yeah, that's right. In August of 2024, Miss Silverstone recorded herself eating a mysterious berry that she found on the street, which many have pinpointed is the toxic Jerusalem berry, which was probably one of Poison Ivy's fruity plant tricks to get Batgirl. We're living in a Batman movie, y'all. By the way, hashtag release the Schumacher cut, please. Hashtag please. Let's jump back to the past once more, back to 1999, where Alicia Silverstone actually brought my favorite movie of hers in a really fun fantasy romance comedy movie alongside Brendan Fraser called Blast from the Past. And this would end up being one of her last trademark roles. But the year 2000 saw her playing against type in an adaptation of Love's Labor's Lost. So this ties into her love of performing on stage. Next, we could see Alicia Silverstone in The Graduate against Jason Biggs, which she also did in 1993. She later did a pair of David Mamet plays, Boston Marriage and Speed the Plow. So she's like a legit actress, y'all. And yeah, she would continue to crush it on the stage throughout her career until about 2015. These live theatrical performances allowed Silverstone to show that she was still worth watching. Her movies, though, not so much. Around this time, she was giving us stuff like Mickey's Magical Christmas and Space Dogs, Adventures to the Moon, Jungle Shuffle, The Nutcracker Suite, Jeff and some aliens. Oh yeah, and she was in 2021's Masters of the Universe Revelation. But her biggest success on this front was the lead character for the first 2 seasons of Brace Face, which is actually a fun, clever little show, earning a Daytime Emmy nomination. She would later earn another for The Babysitter's Club, 2020 to 2021. This time, this teenage star, who's not a teenager anymore, would play the adult. She would be the grown-up in the situation, which, just shows that we all get old in time. It definitely passes, and you're just like, wait, what? Alicia Silverstone is now getting cast as, the mom? Are the 90s really over? She would also spend some time inside the TV, working on television shows, which seemed to suit her quite well. Landing Mismatch in 2003, she earned a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, even though Mismatch only lasted 1 season. And if you thought that was short-lived, consider her failed pilots. Queen Bee, Pink Collar, The Singles Table. The Bad Mother's Handbook. All of those pilot television series failed. There was also a Hallmark Hall of Fame TV movie, Candles on Bay Street. And later, a 4-episode arc on season 1 of Suburgatory, and 1 season starring role on American Woman, and a random appearance on American Horror Stories, and absolutely none of these were memorable. Her movie work at this time was not exactly impressive either. Global Heresy, a crime comedy called Scorched, she did something in Scooby-Doo 2, Beauty Shop, Silence Becomes You, a spy movie called Stormbreaker, The Art of Getting By, Butter, Ass Backwards, Gods Behaving Badly, Angels and Stardust, King Cobra, Who Gets the Dog. Oh yeah, she was in a sequel to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. There was a coming-of-age movie called The Tribes of Palos Verde, 2018's Book Club, some horror flicks, The Lounge, and Perpetrator, a decent comedy called Bad Therapy, a fun but hapless role in Sisters of the Groom. There was a thriller, Last Survivors, in 2022, and there seems to be like a ton of new horrible killer shark flicks, and she was in one of them. It was interesting to see her as a middle-ager offering wisdom in Senior Year in 2022. Then she did something called Mustache, and that Benicio del Toro movie Reptile in 2023. And face it, y'all haven't heard of most of those movies either. But that's not to say that Alicia Silverstone isn't a great actress. She did her thing and was pretty awesome in Catfight in 2016, and in 2012 there was Vamps, reuniting her with director Heckerling, and she wanted to show us all that she could do some artsy-fartsy stuff too by appearing in The Killing of a Sacred Deer. You know, it's from that foreign director that makes all those weird movies. Yorgos something, right? Yorgos something.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the Store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
But yeah, long gone was the popularity of Alicia Silverstone. And really, despite the captive grip that she had on audiences with her Aerosmith music videos and the movie The Crush, it all really comes back to Clueless. Even today, Alicia Silverstone continues to pay tribute to that movie. You know, through Super Bowl commercials or TikTok recreations. And you know what? It's what we love her for. As she put it, "It never gets old, so that's the good news. People always say, oh, you must be sick of it. But what's there to be sick of? People liking the movie you're in? It truly doesn't get better." So yeah, Alicia Silverstone, she no longer needs to prove herself. Even though we love her in Clueless, and that is what, you know, her main thing, we cannot forget that she's an artist who did her time and did some amazing work on the stage, and occasionally popped up in some pretty darn good movies along the way. And some pretty darn good TikToks, if I do say so myself, and myself does say so. So nobody should give a fuck about what the fuck happened to Alicia Silverstone, because she's doing just fine. That poisonous berry didn't kill her. Or at least, that's what they want us to think.